Cowboys spent their Thanksgiving cooking up some fire meals in the kitchen. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But the Dallas Cowboys spent theirs feasting on the Washington Commanders. The Cowboys get it done once again in AT&T Stadium. 45-10, the final, becoming the first team in NFL history to win each of their first 5 home games by 20 or more points. Welcome into Cowboys Rewind. I'm your host, Nicole Hutchison, and rewinding Week 12 is only fitting because the home success keeps coming. The Cowboys put up 25 points in the fourth quarter to put away the Commanders to move to 8-3 in the season, still maintaining the longest active NFL home win streak with 13 straight wins. Dak Prescott is continuing to play at an all-time high. Thursday's 300 passing yard and 4 touchdown game is Prescott's 8th, the most by any Cowboys quarterback, and he tied Tony Romo's record of 10 passing touchdown games. Another elite passing day, but this offense, hands down, is at its best when Dak's legs are a weapon, and he continued to put it on tape. Dak's legs led to extended plays, the perfect recipe for CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks to create some downfield action. He's helped this offense surge as one of the top offenses in the NFL, but if you ask him, he credits their success to everything coming together at the right time.
I don't know that I could just put my finger right on and say this is the why. As much as I've talked about new system, new play calling, we know what we want to do. You know what I mean? We know how we want to attack. We know how we want to go at these different teams. We're running plays that we've ran for since the spring. You know what I mean? Dressing them up different ways, giving different approach, comfortable, and honestly, credit to the offensive line. I mean, I think that's where it starts. The way that they're protecting, giving me time to take shots down the field, allowing me to extend plays, whether it be use my feet, extend plays, make plays down the field again after breaking the pocket. Guys are running to win, and he's flying them off the call sheet, and it feels good. It goes again to the preparation that we put into this thing. Obviously, I mean, we feel good about what we've got. We feel good about the players that we have, the plays that we're going to call, the matchup, the film study we've had, the preparation, the game plan. Credit these coaches week in and week out, and they're dialing up things and putting playmakers in their best position, and it's confidence. You know what I mean? And simple as that. Yeah, we understand we're going to be in there. We had them. It's not like we had them in just that end zone. They were in every bucket. Defense, Daron could have got one himself when he jumped in the other bucket. He was just probably stepping on him. But we plan to be there, and I think that says a lot too. Though when you plan, whether it be a touchdown celebration, kettle celebration, it's a mindset, and I think that's important for us to have those expectations of getting in the end zone and understanding that we'll get back in there.
Obligations.
Well, I mean, he's playing at a high level. There's no question. But I think, the San Francisco game for all of us, and I know for me, especially, when you have your lead up and you go into the game and you try to play games certain ways, because we were relatively in, favorable third downs in that game and had been very good and still are, very productive on third downs. And so, I think, when you try to play it a little too exact, because you may be concerned about other things, where you are as an offense. But, a big part of our success is really, we don't talk about our offensive line enough. I think our pass protection, the last touchdown, the pass protection was absolutely, it was excellent for that, particular play in the defense that they played too. So I just think it's just, our defense, we talked about this, our defense was further ahead than the offense coming out of camp. And I was honest about that. And we played that way. But I think the complementary football is coming together, and you're going to need it. I mean, if you want to be, a good team in this league, you have, in my opinion, you have to have it. If you want to win a championship, that's the only way you can get there.
The Cowboys with their 3rd straight win and feeling really confident. We love a confident Cowboys team. When we come back, we're breaking down more of this Cowboys offense, and I go one-on-one with Cavante Turpin. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Cowboys Rewind is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, and by SWBC Mortgage, Join the more than 120,000 customers that we've helped to find their happier way home. Visit swbcmortgage.com to find a pro today. This segment is brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
They go Pollard. Pollard dashing, driving. He's in for the touchdown.
The Dallas Cowboys 45, the Washington Commanders 10 in the Thanksgiving showdown. The Cowboys get it done. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys pass catchers got everything they wanted Thursday when dropping back to pass. Dak connected with 10 different players, throwing for over 300 yards. Thank you, offensive line, for holding up. Dak was only under pressure on 12.1% of his dropbacks, his lowest rate the entire 2023 season so far. No red zone woes on Thursday. The Cowboys were 3 of 3 in the red zone. The run game continues to progress, with Tony Pollard leading the way, a new season high 6.1 yards per carry. The perfect confidence booster for this franchise back.
Yeah, I feel like lately, we've been getting the rhythm in the run game, being efficient and everything that we've been called and getting the most out of it. So I feel like we're trending towards the right direction.
You feel a large part of that it comes from continuity with the front five and how many, they're getting more and more reps as the weeks go on?
Yeah, just being out there with that same group, over time, just growing together, learning each other's ways and tendencies, and then just learning.
Do you think maybe going to a little bit more zone scheme in the run game has helped as well?
I would say just our execution, and everything that we've been doing, just fine-tuning the details of everything, making sure we're on the same page and just going out execute.
Did you get your hands on one of the turkey legs that Turpin pulled out of the kettle?
He threw me one, but I dropped it. I thought it was a hot dog at first, but I realized when he pulled it out, I need to go get one of those, man.
A few guys getting in on the turkey leg celebration on Thursday. Kevontae Turpin being one of them. Turpin with his first touchdown since Week 9 against the Eagles, a guy that was used on special teams most of last year and incorporated into this offense a bit more this year, making the most of every single opportunity he gets. He now has 4 touchdowns this season. I caught up with him post-game. Here's what he had to say. Big win on Thanksgiving Day. I mean, it's got to feel good to have a big win on Turkey Day, right?
Oh, man, it's wonderful, man. Come out here, man, be thankful for everything we do in life. Just come out here and play some football. That's what we do.
You had your 4th touchdown of the season. How do you feel like that connection between you and Dak is finally growing?
Just going to training camp, going to the off season stuff, going with Dak, him just getting chemistry with all the receivers, not just, the main ones, Dak just go out here and do this thing, but when me and him, I think it's just a Louisiana thing, you feel me? We just easy to click with, and I just feel like, that's my guy, man. We just, just go out here and try to play our great football.
Earlier this week, Brian Schottenheimer just said that you're really making the most of your opportunities on this offense when you do get the opportunities. Why is that?
It's just like, man, I got to take advantage of all my opportunities. Not just me in life, I don't get too many chances on special teams, just because, guys really don't kick it to me. So when I go out there and get my players on offense, I try to go out there and do the best of them.
Your story is kind of unique, coming from the XFL and things like that. How would you describe your journey?
Man, I always tell my mom, man, it's a wonderful journey. It continue to go, you feel me? It's just been wonderful, man, this life I'm living, man. I just need to write a book about it, man. Coming out soon, so man, I'm just happy to be here, bro. Just being, continue to still chase my dream, man. I'm just happy to be here.
There were some concerns about this offense and the way that they had lack of identity earlier in the year, but it seems like you guys are finally putting together something good on display.
Man, just start season, we just had to find ourselves, find out what type of offense we're going to be. Each and every game we go out there and be better each and every game. So I just feel like, man, we continue to click every time, man. It's going to be hard to beat us, man. We got a lot of playmakers on the offense, and, we just going out there to show them that it's going to be hard to guard us.
8-3 in the season now. You got your shades on. I mean, obviously, the shades are cool. You feeling cool? Shout out to you, KT.
I really appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.
Another day in the office, the Cowboys have absolutely dominated, outscoring their opponents 198-60. Another day in the office that a Dallas Cowboy is going in the history books. We're talking all things Daron Bland being anything but bland up next right here on Cowboys Rewind.
This segment was brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
Daron is just, from every opportunity he's given, he's just been so steady, so professional for a young man, and then, just his playmaking ability is special.
Daron Bland had a Thanksgiving that's going to be hard to top. The second-year corner helped the Dallas defense dominate in their 45-10 win against their divisional rival, the Washington Commanders, but he also set an NFL record in the process. 5 pick sixes in a single season. Crazy. That's the most in NFL history, if you forgot. Here's a reminder.
2nd and 10. There it is! This is history! If Bland can take it the distance, this will be the record! Bland for the 5th time has a pick six! It's never happened in the history of the NFL!
It's Bland's 12th career interception since being selected in the 5th round of the 2022 draft. The most in the league during that time. Just a season ago, Bland was a rookie, but has made the biggest second-year jump this year, filling in the shoes of an All-Pro, 2-time Pro Bowler in Trayvon Diggs, and vastly becoming a household name of his own. I caught up with him post-game, and here's what he had to say. The Daron Bland, Mr. NFL record holder himself, for the most pick sixes in one season. How you feeling, man? It's got to be a special moment.
Good, a very special moment. Special just because my family here, and then another day to break the record, and just feeling thankful.
Walk me through that play, because you see Sam Howell trying to connect to his receiver, and then you pick him off, and then you still make 2 other defenders miss. I mean, just walk me through that play.
It was a play that kind of happened on earlier in the game, so I recognized the formation, and then I just seen him run the out route. I was like, I got to go get this one. You got me on earlier, so I got to go get this one. And then once the ball was in my hands, like, I got to score. So, because all my teammates talking about my return skills, so they were trying to see if I had a return skill, so I hope I showed them.
You've been targeted all night, and finally you made them pay. It seems like you've been doing that a lot this season. They're testing you because you're a young cornerback, young DB, but you're still making them pay. Just what does that say about you and a lot of young guys in this league?
I mean, shoot, you see all the time. There's a lot of young guys in this league that can do everything: break the ball, make interceptions, take it back. I mean, you see the greatness that's just up and coming.
You said that you wanted to break this record. How does it feel to actually break the record and be remembered?
Good, feeling good.
How do you keep it going?
Just one day at a time, one step at a time.
Thank you so much. Daron Bland finished the day as the team's leading tackler with 10. Another standout guy from Thursday, though, Damone Clark. He had his best game as a Dallas Cowboy, flying to the ball and making life hard for any commander coming out of the backfield. No questions about Marquise Bell, Rashaan Evans, and company having strong presence in the second level as well. But overall, this defense as a whole left no crumbs out on the field on Thursday. They shut out the Commanders in the second half, picked up 4 sacks on Sam Howell, 2 of those from Jonathan Hankins, just his second 2-sack game in his 11-year career.
I feel amazing, man. It just goes to show you how much work I put in, and I'm thankful for today. Today's Thanksgiving. Now I get a chance to actually eat, so it's going to be a good night.
This Dallas Cowboys pass rush getting after it on Thursday. We've got more talks about this defense with Nick Eatman joining the show. Stick with us right here on Cowboys Rewind. 20-10 halftime score, a pretty silent third quarter, but then the Cowboys absolutely turning things up a notch in the fourth to get the final 45-10 against the Washington Commanders. Nick Eatman alongside Nicole Hutchison here. The Cowboys absolutely dominating for 3 straight games. Let's start with this offensive line, who, again, like you mentioned earlier, doesn't get the credit they deserve. What do you like so far from that continuity you're seeing?
Well, I mean, I think it starts left to right, and it starts with Tyron Smith. I mean, this guy is turning back the clock. He's playing like the Hall of Famer that we've seen his entire career, and that's really been the most impressive thing because, he's obviously been, injured, some neck, back, shoulder, ankle, every little knee, a little bit of everything with Tyron. And think about what he did, a Thursday, short week. Here's a guy that's not been practicing a whole lot. He needs as much rest as he possibly can. He goes out there and plays and shuts it down on that left side. And then Tyler Smith, I think he's finding a home at guard. I know that we're saying maybe later on his career down the road he'll play tackle. I don't know. I mean, he looks like a left guard to me. I mean, just across the line. Biotis, Zach Martin, of course, and I think Terrence Steele's now coming into his own a little bit as well. He's kind of heard some critics. What's going on? He's got the knee injury. You know, he's still less than 12 months from the actual injury that happened last December. He's back from that. I think left to right, this offensive line's really, really coming together.
Yeah, that unit's really battled with injury all season long. But you mentioned Terrence Steele, a guy that Mike McCarthy said that he really just needs to play through some of the tough times that he had in those past couple of games. How much have you liked the fact that he's just manned up and just taken it?
Well, he's such a fighter. I mean, that's the thing about it. I mean, we learned a lot about Terrence Steele his rookie year. 2020, no training camp, I mean they had training camp, but no preseason games. And here's an undrafted rookie from Texas Tech that ends up starting, you know. So we knew right away that he was going to be a guy that could battle, and we're seeing it now. I thought an impressive play on some of the screens and you know, pitches to tosses. He's out there running and leading the way, and so he's showing that agility, that mobility that you want to see out of him, and he's going to be a battler, and that's what they've seen. You play next to Zach Martin, you're going to be good, and I think that he's really starting to play better as well.
Everything starts in the trenches, right? So I mean, let's move to that defensive side of the ball. Jonathan Hankins absolutely a tear, forcing a turnover and downs in the fourth quarter, 2 sacks out of the 4 on Thursday. What have you liked from Jonathan Hankins?
Well, he had more sacks than Micah. I mean, like, you just got to throw it out there. You know, he had 2 in the game. It actually was his first 2-sack game since 2014 against Washington when he was with the Raiders. So he must like playing against them. But really, that's where it starts, and we have to mention him and also Osa Odighizuwa. I thought he was just living back there in the backfield for a while in that game, and the most impressive thing to me was late in the game, Washington was down. They had to do something on 4th down, 4th and 1, but they're in shotgun. They're in shotgun in those plays, and they're not even attempting to try to run it up the middle. That's what I think the presence there of guys like Osa and obviously Hankins to really control that, and the rest of the line too. I mean, everybody was doing their thing, but Osa just creating all that kind of pressure, and that lets the other guys go. I mean, when the defensive tackles are doing their thing, Damone Clark, as we see there, can go and chase the football.
You go exactly where I want to go. We're seeing Damone Clark right here on this film. Just the key was gap integrity, making sure you're making the right reads as far as the run game from this Washington Commanders team. How much has Damone Clark really just stepped up in a role that he had to really fill at such a short amount of time?
You know, he's quietly, I think, leading the team in tackles, but then yesterday I thought, you know, it was actually one of his better days, really, on Thursday, for him to go out there and make some of those plays. He does fly around the ball, but it starts up front, and then everybody else can go feast, if you will. And Micah Parsons, of course, Fowler, those guys on the outside, and Damone in the middle. But I just think with everything, he kind of goes inside out, and that's what happened with those big guys up front.
Yeah, they kept the Commanders 0 for 3 on 4th down. Brian Robinson to just 53 yards. Do you feel like you've been here a long time? Not to.
Thank you.
No, I didn't mean it like that. But in your time here, have you seen this Cowboys defense dominate better than this?
Well, I mean, this defense is kind of, you know, I wouldn't say hot and cold. They're still trying to figure their way out. They've had some moments there. Stopping the run has been an issue at times. But I think that it's a bend but don't break. They bend a little bit, but they weren't bending a whole lot at the end of the game. So yeah, there's been defenses that have been a little bit better than this over the time. But when you talk about just special teams, offense, defense collectively, this is kind of it was a complete win, and they're becoming a complete team as well.
Well, let's hope that this Cowboys team can carry it over on Thursday against the Seattle Seahawks. We'll be right back here on Cowboys Rewind to wrap things up. All eyes on the Dallas Cowboys for Thanksgiving Day, and the Cowboys delivered for Cowboys Nation with a win, a 45-10 beating on the Washington Commanders to move to 8-3 in the season. A game that had felt surprisingly competitive through the fourth quarter. No longer, though, was after the Dallas defense forced a turnover on downs to set up a CeeDee Lamb touchdown From then on, it was a domino effect, and the Cowboys never took their foot off the gas. But now, we head into Week 13, the second game of the 12-day stretch, taking on the Seattle Seahawks, a 6-5 NFC West foe that's fresh off a loss on Thanksgiving Day to the San Francisco 49ers. It'll be the first time these two have faced off since 2020. The Cowboys lost that one in Seattle, and they're 1-4 in their last 5 meetings. But this year, the Seahawks come to Arlington, and the dominance in AT&T Stadium is real. Can the Cowboys carry it over into Thursday and make it 14 straight wins? We'll see. Kickoff set for 7:15. We'll see you next week right here on
Cowboys
Cowboys Rewind.
Rewind was brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, and by SWBC Mortgage. Join the more than 120,000 customers that we've helped to find their happier way home. Visit swbcmortgage.com to find a pro today.